So let's answer another problem, problem 14-25. So Civic Company began business operations on January 1, 2019. During the year, the accounting records are kept on a double entry system, but on a cash basis of accounting. The entity decided to use the accrual basis. On December 31, 2019, the account balances are... So ito yung ating mga account balances na na-record under the cash basis of accounting. Kung titingnan natin, wala tayong mga beginning balances ng inventories kasi nga kaka-start pa lang ng ating business by January 1. So itong transactions na to, na-record to gamit ay cash basis of accounting. But since gagawa tayo ng financial statements under accrual kasi the entity decided to use the accrual basis, kailangan natin mag-prepare ng adjusting entries. So itong mga account balances na to, transfer natin siya dito sa Excel. So again, meron lang tayong isang asset, cash. Tapos then the rest, liabilities, equity, and nominal accounts. So again, ito positive kasi debit balance. Then sa side na to, ang mga positive ay credit balances. Tapos yung naka-negative debit balances. Then before we start, make sure na equal. So ang total nito ay 840. So same sa total asset natin. So ang first information natin is we have a merchandise inventory on December 31 at cost of 500,000 pesos. So since kailangan daw meron tayong ending inventory, ibig sabihin at the end of the year, we have an inventory on hand. So unsold yun. So kailangan na natin mag-set up ng another column for inventory, which is 500,000 pesos. Sana tayo adjusting journal entries. Siyempre, ang mga adjusting journal entries ay piniprepare natin ng December 31, 2019. So, debit tayo, inventory for 500,000 pesos. Okay. So, anong credit natin? So, ang credit natin, syempre it depends on the inventory system na piniprepare natin ay na ginagamit natin. So, pag periodic inventory system, katulad nito, naka-periodic tayo kasi merong purchases na account. Ang credit natin is income summary. Pero pag perpetual, so ang gagamitin nating credit is cost of sales. Though ang ginagamit niya is periodic kasi may purchases, ang gagamitin ko, i-convert ko siya ng perpetual kasi medyo mas madaling intindihin yung perpetual kaysa sa periodic kasi napakadaming account title sa periodic kaya minsan nakakalito na. So ang gagamitin ko is cost of sales. Bakit cost of sales? Kasi ganito, kung i-recall nyo yung computation ng cost of sales, di ba? Beginning inventory plus purchases. Siyempre, ang total niyan is cost of goods available for sale. Tapos, less tayo ending inventory. Then, that is your cost of goods sold. So, using the data in our problem, di ba, wala tayong begin inventory. Then we have a purchases of 4,200,000. So, assuming wala pa tayong adjusting entry na ginagawa. So, lahat yan, cost of goods available for sale. Ngayon, pag wala tayong sinetup na ending inventory, ang magiging cost of goods sold mo, 4,200,000. Kasi wala kang sinetup na ending inventory. At dahil tayo magsisetup ng ending inventory yan, debit inventory, 500,000. Ibig sabihin nun, out of 4,200,000, 500,000 dyan ay on hand, hindi pa nabenta. So, kaya tayo nag-credit ng cost of sales na 500 kasi pag wala tayong sinetup na ending inventory, for example, ganyan. So, ang cost of goods sold mo, 4,200,000, which is hindi dapat kasi 500 daw sa 4,200,000 ay hindi pa nabebenta. So, on hand yun. So, paano mabawasan ang cost of goods sold natin? By 500,000. So, kailangan mo mag-credit ng cost of sales 500,000 by debiting inventory 500,000. So, kaya maglalagay tayo rito ng 500,000 negative. So, ang cost of goods sold natin is 3,700,000. So, ang credit natin again is cost of sales. Again, ang ginagamit niya ay periodic. Ginawa ko lang siyang perpetual para medyo mas madaling maintindihan sa game. Number 2. On December 31, accounts receivable amounted to 100,000 pesos. So, by year end daw, meron tayong accounts receivable, 100,000. So, syempre, ibig sabihin ng accounts receivable, meron tayong sales on account by year end. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa nakokolekta yung sales. So, yung 100,000 na yan, hindi pa nare-record kasi ang recording natin previously is cash basis. So, ngayon, maglalagay tayo ngayon ng sales on account. At since wala pang accounts receivable sa ating libro, so obviously hindi pa siya na-record, kailangan natin mag-add ng column for accounts receivable. So, anong entry natin? So, ang second entry natin is to debit accounts receivable, then credit sales for 100,000 pesos. So, ipasok natin yan sa table natin. Ay, hindi ko pala napasok yung first entry natin. 500,000 debit, inventory, then dahil wala tayong cost of sales na account title, mag-add tayo. So, credit cost of sales, 500,000. Then, adjusting journal entry number 2 natin is debit accounts receivable, 100,000. Then, credit sales, 100,000. Then, sa number 2, again, meron daw tayong accounts payable by December 31 na 80,000 pesos. So, ang accounts payable, syempre, ibig sabihin, meron tayong purchases on account. So, hindi yung cash purchases. So, dahil yun ay on account, hindi pa yun nare-record. Tsaka obvious naman, hindi pa siya nare-record kasi wala tayong accounts payable sa account balances natin. So, magre-record tayo. Additional entry natin is to set up the accounts payable by year end. So, credit accounts payable for 80,000. At sinasabi ko nga, ang accounts payable is from purchases on account. So, debit tayo ng purchases. So, dinebit ko muna purchases kasi meron tayong purchases na 4,200,000. Kasi yung 4,200,000, unadjusted purchases pa yan. So, madadagdagan yung purchases natin. Pero ang sabi ko kanina, gagawin ko siyang perpetual. Pero sa dulo ko na gagawin yun. So, number 3. So, number 2 pa rin pala to. So, number 3. Pasok pa lang po na natin yung entry. Debit purchases, 80,000. Then, credit accounts payable. So, dahil wala tayong accounts payable, mag-insert tayo ng another column. Na 80,000. So, number 3. Accrued expenses on December 31 is 20,000. So, ibig sabihin ng accrued expenses, meron tayong expense na na-incur, but not yet paid. So dahil hindi pa bayad, hindi pa siya na-record under cash basis. So i-record natin siya para ma-convert siya to accrual. So paano i-adjust, paano mag-record ng expense incurred but not yet paid? So syempre, credit expenses, then credit accrued expense. How much? 20,000 pesos. So pasok natin yan sa table. Number 3. Debit expenses ₱20,000. Tapos, credit accrued expense. Since wala tayong accrued expense sa account, tayo ay mag-add ng column. Accrued expenses for ₱20,000. So next, number 4. The purchases included merchandise in the amount of 10,000 pesos bought for the president. The president had not reimbursed the entity. So ang sabi niya, yung purchases daw natin, which is 4,200,000, meron dyan 10,000 na pinili for the president. So ano kayang entry na ginawa niya upon purchase? So upon purchase, ang entry niya is then naisama siya sa purchases. So debit purchases. Then dahil binili yun, credit cash. Bakit credit cash? Kasi ang nire-record lang niya is cash purchases. Kasi nga naka-cash basis siya. So 10,000 pesos. At since yan daw ay goods, not for the company but for the president, sabi niya, i-reimburse daw dapat yan ng president. Ibig sabihin, supposedly, ang dapat magbayad is si president. Tayo lang yung nag-abono. So, dapat, hindi yung debit purchases. Receivable dapat yan from the president. So, tatanggalin natin yung purchases na yan. So, paano tanggalin? Credit purchases. 10,000. At mag-set up ng receivable from the president. So, na tayo? Advances to officers. So, yung advances to officers is a receivable account. So, adjusting journal entry number 4 tayo. So, debit tayo. Since wala tayong advances to officers na account title, mag-insert tayo ng another column. Advances to officers. Na 10,000. At credit purchases. So, credit purchases 10,000. So next, number 5. The sales included 25,000 deposit given by a customer for merchandise to be delivered in 2020. So dito daw sa sales na to, meron diyang 25,000 deposit. Ibig sabihin, collection yun, kaya ni-record niya. Given by a customer for merchandise to be delivered in 2020. Since hindi pa yun nadi-deliver yung goods sa customer, supposedly hindi pa in sales. Pero dahil nga previously siyang nagre-record under cash basis, so na-record yun as sales. At dahil mag-accrual tayo, hindi pa yun sales. So mag-a-adjust ng entry tayo. So ang entry na ginawa niya, yung ginawa niya, upon collection, debit cash, 25,000. Yan ang entry niya. Then, ang credit niya, kasi cash basis ang gamit niya, kine-credit niya sales. So, ang gagawin natin yung accrual. So, syempre, tama yung debit cash. Ang mali, yung credit sales. So, tatanggalin natin yung credit niya na sales by debiting sales, 25,000 pesos. At dahil hindi pa yung nadi-deliver by December 31, 2020 kasi it is to be delivered in 2020. So may liability tayo sa customer. So that is advances from customers. So, ang advances from customers na account is a liability account. So, ipasok natin yan sa table. Adjusting entry number 5. So, dahil wala tayong liability account na advances, so mag-insert tayong additional advances from customers. Credit 25,000. Then, credit sales 25,000. And so next, number 6. It is estimated that 5% of the outstanding accounts receivable on December 31 may turn out to be uncollectible. So, yung 5% nakabase sa outstanding accounts receivable on December 31. Ibig sabihin, nakabase sa ending balance. So, whatever amount na makompute natin based on the 5% should also be the ending balance kasi nakabase yung 5% sa December 31 balance. So, that is an allowance for bad debts. So, magkano ba yung outstanding accounts receivable on December 31? So, kailangan syempre, base yun sa adjusted accounts receivable. So, kung dito siya nilagay sa number 6, ang expectation natin sa number 7 and number 8, wala nang adjustments affecting accounts receivable. So, pwede na natin siyang i-assume na adjusted accounts receivable by number 6. Tayo ay mag-set up ng accounts, ng allowance. So, another entry tayo, number 6. So, bad debt expense. Since we only have one account title, so debit expenses, included na doon yung bad debt expense. Then credit, allowance for bad debts, which is 5% ng outstanding accounts receivable by December 31, which is 100,000. So, ang bad debt expense is 5,000 pesos. So, ipasok natin yan sa ating table. So, debit expenses tayo ng 5,000. And since wala tayong allowance na account title, so mag-add tayo allowance for bad debts for 5,000. So, mahaba na siya. Okay. So, yung entry natin, debit expenses 5,000, credit allowance for bad debts 5,000. Okay, let's proceed to number 7. Expenses included the following. Okay, ang expenses natin is 516. Sabi niya dyan, sa 560,000 expenses, 25,000 daw dyan is for office supplies, of which 5,000 is unused as of December 31. So, kung sa 560,000, 25,000 doon is office supplies, nasa 25,000 daw, 5,000 is unused. So, ibig sabihin, out of 25,000, only 20,000 should be expensed. Yung remaining 5,000 should be prepaid supplies. So, mag-set up tayo ng prepaid supplies. Kasi pag hindi natin yun sinet up, yung 5,000 na to, masasama sa expenses. So, mag-entry tayo, number 7, 7A. So, tatanggalin natin yung hindi 25,000. Ang itatanggalin lang natin is 5,000. Kasi yung 20,000 expense na yon. So, tama lang na nandoon siya sa expense account. Pero yung 5,000, hindi dapat. So, credit expenses. At para matanggal siya sa expenses, ilalagay natin siya sa prepaid supplies. O pwedeng supplies na lang. So, pwede na yan. So, ipasok natin yan sa ating table. 7A. So, debit tayo, prepaid supplies. Since wala tayong prepaid supplies na account title, maglagay tayo prepaid supplies. Debit, 5,000. Tapos, credit expenses, 5,000. Di pa rin kita. Sige, pwede na yan. The next. Letter B. 100,000 for the purchase of equipment on July 1, 2019. It was estimated that this property would have an estimated useful life of 10 years without residual value. Game. Sabi niya, again, sa expenses na 560,000, 100,000 daw doon is equipment which was purchased on July 1, 2019. So, ibig sabihin, we need to record depreciation as well. Kasi ang useful life niya is 10 years. So, syempre, under accrual, any purchase of equipment should be capitalized. So, ang ika-capitalize natin is 100,000. So, how do we adjust? So, tayo ay mag 7B. So, tatanggalin natin sa expenses yung 100,000. Ilalagay natin siya sa equipment. So, ipasok natin yan sa table. 7B. Since wala tayong equipment na account title, insert tayo additional column, equipment, for 100,000 debit, credit expenses. Then, since this is an equipment, so we need to record depreciation. So, debit expenses, credit accumulated depreciation. Sabi niya, 10 years daw. 10 years. Siyempre, hindi tayo magbibigay ng depreciation for 1 whole year. Ang depreciation lang natin for the year will start July 1, which is 6 months. So, magbigay tayo ng 6 months. So, 100,000 divided by 120 months. Siyempre, 12 months. Tapos, 10 years. 120 months yun. Times 6 months lang ang kailangan natin. So, 5,000. So, ang entry natin, ang ipapasok natin yan sa table. So, debit, 5,000. Then, credit, accumulated depreciation. Since wala tayong accumulated depreciation, maglagay ulit tayo. Accumulated depreciation for 5,000. Next, letter C. 20,000. So again, sa expenses na 560,000, it includes a 20,000 1-year insurance premium on fire insurance policy dated October 1, 2019. So sa 560,000 expenses, may 20,000 doon na hindi naman dapat lahat i-expense. So ilang months lang ang dapat nating i-expense. Siyempre, yung na-expire. Ilang months na ba ang na-expire? So since ang policy started October 1, 2019, so 3 months pa lang ang na-expire by December 31, 2019. So 3 months lang din dapat ang i-expense natin. Then yung the rest na 9 months, dapat hindi pa yung expense. So i-asset muna natin yun. So how do we adjust? So 7C. So, tatanggalin natin sa expenses yung 20,000. Tatanggalin natin yung 9 months. Tatanggalin natin yung 9 months. Parang maiwan lang is 3 months. So, 15,000 ang tatanggalin natin. Then, debit, prepaid insurance. So, ipasok natin sa table. So, debit, prepaid insurance. Since wala tayong prepaid insurance sa account title, insert tayo ng another column. Prepaid insurance. For 15,000 pesos. Then, credit tayo ng expenses, 15,000. Hindi na siya nakita. Yan. Ay. Okay. So, let's go to the last number. Number 8. The notes payable comprised a non-interest-bearing note of 100,000 pesos dated August 1, 2019, due on February 1, 2020, and a 1-year note of 100,000 pesos dated September 1, 2019, bearing an interest of 12% payable at maturity. So, ang note payable daw natin ay 200,000 pesos. Kasi, it composed of 2 promissory notes. Yung isang 100, non-interest bearing. Then yung isang 100, interest bearing, 12%. So, ang gustong pagawa syempre sa atin ng number 8 is mag-accrue tayo ng interest. At syempre, nag-a-accrue ng interest kapag interest bearing, obviously. So, ang i-accrue lang nating interest is para dun sa interest bearing note na 12%. So, since 12% ay yung 12% na note starts on September 1, 2019 at 1 year yun. So, yun ay 4 months. So, mag-a-accrue tayo ng 4 months na interest para dun sa interest-bearing note. So, ang bibigyan lang natin ng accrual ng expense is yung interest-bearing note for 4 months. So, mag-record tayo. So, number 8, adjusting entry natin is debit in expense. Credit interest payable, which is 100,000 times 12% times 4 months divided by 12. So, 4,000. So, ipasok natin yan sa table. So, that is adjusting entry number 8. Debit expense tayo ng 4,000. Tapos, credit interest payable. Since wala tayong interest payable, mag-insert tayo ng additional column, interest payable for 4,000. Yan. So, that is the completed adjusting journal entry. Then last, gagawin kong perpetual. So, tatanggalin ko yung purchases. Ililipat ko sa cost of sales. So, yung purchases natin ay, ang total niya is 4,270,000. So, tanggalin natin yung purchases, credit purchases, ililipat ko sa cost of sales. 4,270,000. Siyempre, etong adjusting entry na to, optional to. So, choice ko lang to. So, number 9. So, tayo ay nag-credit. So, 4,270,000 na purchases. Then, debit cost of sales. Yan. So, dito to. Yan. Yan. So, gawin na nating get all the balances. Then, check natin kung magbabalanse. So, balanse. So, 1,560,000 total assets. Then, total liabilities and equity is also 1,560,000. So, how much is the net income? Siyempre, ang net income natin is sales na 4,475,000 minus cost of sales na 3,770,000 pesos. Tapos less expenses na 474,000 pesos. So that is your net income. Yun din ang magiging retained earnings mo. Siyempre, wala kang beginning balance ng retained earnings kasi kaka-start mo pa lang. So, ang ending balance mo ng retained earnings is, so, compute na natin, sales, cost of sales, gross profit, as expenses. Tapos, net income. So, ang sales natin is 4,475,000. Cost of sales is 3. So, ang gross profit natin is 705. Ang expenses is 474. So, meron tayong net income na 231. Then, yan din ang inyong retained earnings. Sa game, check natin kung tama yung cost of sales na 3,770,000. Based dun sa computation ng cost of sales. So, using this formula, so, wala tayong beginning inventory kasi kakastart lang natin. Then, ang adjusted purchases is 4,270,000. Yan yung sinara ko lahat sa cost of sales. Kaya, ang cost of goods available for sale natin is 4,270,000. Then, may ending inventory tayo na 500,000. Kaya, ang cost of goods sold natin is 3,770,000. At yan yung nasa table natin, 3,770,000. So, using this table, we can now prepare the financial statements. So, ito yung ating income statement. Yan, ito yung ginawa ko, income statement. Then, ating balance sheet. Yan, balance sheet. Siyempre, hanggang dito lang. Plus, retained earnings na 231,000. So, that's it for problem 14-25.